Andrew, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Great. So you're the winner of our coding competition.
Yeah, I'm very excited.
Thank you. Why don't we start by just talking a little bit about you and your background?
My name's Andrew Radion, obviously. I'm a civil engineer.
Okay.
I work at GHD and work in water and wastewater, so designing pipes, pump stations and hydraulic modelling of water supply networks and wastewater.
Great. And tell us a bit about your background prior to that.
Yeah, so I've always had an interest in mathematics and sciences, and I went to university and studied civil engineering and arts, languages in the arts.
Okay.
But sort of my interest in programming started at a young age. I was in grade 4, I was about 10 years old when I started programming.
Yep.
Yeah, sort of started in DOS and then to Visual Basic, and had a bit of a hiatus on the hard programming and went into websites and other sort of development. And now it's more where it relates to spreadsheets and sort of VBA that I use the most.
So you were 10 or so when you started. What sparked that interest at an early age?
Yeah, look, I was with my parents and went to this computer fair or something, and there was this little robot that you had to program that you could get to walk around roll around your house, and that really sparked the interest for me.
So obviously you're the winner of our challenge. How did you find out about the contest?
Yeah, look, one night I was having trouble sleeping and I went onto Twitter and it was probably 3 o'clock in the morning, and one of the promoted posts was from GE and it was advertising a puzzle, and I clicked on it and there was some interesting things there, these binary codes, and I thought, oh, this probably won't be too hard to crack, which in the end it was, it got the better of me. Spent quite a few hours trying to work it out, but without any clues was not fruitful.
So do you want to, I mean, for the benefit for me as a layperson, do you want to sort of walk us through the steps that you followed?
Yeah, so initially, before there were any clues, it was just sort of ones and zeros, and there was these conversations between the machines, and I thought that's what we should be looking at, and I did the translation myself, but it matched up largely with what was in the document, except for one of the tweets, which I assume was just a red herring, was an error. And then I sort of sat on it for a few days. The first clue came out saying to look inside the pictures. So what I did initially was look at ones and zeros inside the pictures, and I tried to string them all together and make some sort of binary code, but that gave me nothing. Then I contacted my brother, who's over in the United States, and asked him for some ideas. He's an electrical and computer systems engineer, so he suggested that it could be something called steganography. So we did some Googling on steganography and basically identified that there was some data hidden inside all the images. So right from the first clue, we knew there was something in the images. So the last 2 bits of each colour channel had this hidden data in them. I tried to string all that data together to make a text message, and didn't really come with anything. It was gibberish, just symbols. But really that last clue that said to look for visual cryptography, that was really the linchpin. So Googled cryptography, visual cryptography, and found some interesting stuff on that. Had the idea that it's not just one image that you consider in isolation, it's all the images together.
So overall, how long did it take to solve the problem?
Yeah, look, I think once I had that last clue, it was only really a few hours work, but a lot of research. And there was one particular paper that I stumbled across that really described pretty much exactly this process. And once I had that, it was really quite simple. The only difficult part was deciding what dimensions the images needed to be. So the first time it came out, it was sort of half an image and another half an image, and you couldn't really see it. And there was all these dots everywhere, and I tried reversing the order of things, but really just changing the dimensions. I got a readable image in the end. And yeah, probably my favourite part about the challenge was it said search for an Easter egg, and the Easter egg was the Christmas tree machine. So it was very clever.
Yeah. And then eventually the output took you to a URL?
Basically, there's a picture of 2 guys standing in front of the Christmas tree machine, and down the bottom there was a URL in binary code which translated to random.com.au.
And then presumably somebody gave you a call fairly soon afterwards?
Yeah, so cracked the problem was about 4 o'clock in the morning, I think, and I was expecting a call in the middle of the night, but no one called, so I got some sleep. And yeah, then when I was at work at about 9 o'clock, someone called and said, you know, you're the first person. So it was a pretty good feeling.
So your prize is to go to the Minds and Machines conference in the US. Who are you going to take with you?
Yeah, look, I'd love to take my brother, but unfortunately he's not eligible to come with me because he's already living in Detroit, although he'd love to come. But so it looks like I'll be taking a friend.
Well, look, thanks ever so much for coming. Any other questions you've got for us?
Yeah, look, I'm just wondering what other projects GE is doing in this sector.
For us, this is a new area for us in terms of getting much more into the software space. GE's traditionally built a lot of machinery, you know, that's our heritage, heavy engineering. But what we're doing now really is expanding that portfolio and taking those machines and adding big data to the big iron. And we're building solutions into the hardware for productivity and for improving the reliability of the equipment. So this whole direction towards software is a company-wide initiative. And Minds and Machines, you'll see a lot of examples of what we're trying to achieve there. All right, well, Andrew, thanks very much for taking the time to come and talk to us. We really appreciate it. And have a fabulous time at the Minds and Machines conference.
Thank you, and thanks for the opportunity.
Cheers, thank you.